Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit.
Happy to stay here a while. Lots to look at.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours. Enjoy your visit here. This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it that way.
Welcome to New Homestead.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
Running this farm with my family for the sake of our little colony is one of the greatest pleasures in life. Ah, someone new. Are you a tourist, or have you just moved to New Homestead? Ah, well, don't be afraid to soak in some of the local charm then. We're friendly people, mostly, and we like having visitors. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like? Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question? Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard? Really? That sounds nice, but what happens if there's a dispute? Who settles it? Do people really just take the law into their own hands at that point? Can people be trusted to do the right thing? Gosh, I'm sorry, you don't need to answer all of that. I'm just so fascinated by it all. Is it okay if I change the subject? Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water? I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else? Oh, wonderful. Is space travel as exciting as it seems? I've heard stories about pirates and spaceship malfunctions and all sorts of terrible things. I've always wanted to try going into space, but I'm also worried about all those dangers. Maybe people here are right. The dangers here are few, and we know how to take care of them. Space is too unknown. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
I always wonder what it's like where other people come from. Hello? I'm not really supposed to talk with tourists, but I kinda want to anyway. And I don't think my papa is paying attention. You're not going to tell him, are you? Oh, I guess that's okay. I wouldn't want to make you lie. My mama always tells me it's not good to lie. Now what should we talk about? Not really. There's some, though. Most are around my age. We all go to school in the same room. I don't know. I've never been to any other schools. We mostly learn about the history of the solar system and Earth and stuff like that until we get old enough to go on our learning vacation. That's when we get to leave to go to school somewhere else for a few years, or travel and visit other worlds, try out jobs and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. My mama says it's because he thinks we'd up and leave if we found out about the rest of the worlds out there. But I keep telling him, I love it here, and I love him, and I would never leave him. He doesn't believe it. He says the kids almost always want to leave when they grow up. But not me. Nope. I just want to visit somewhere else. Maybe. I think it's pretty fun. And I get to be around my mama and my papa all day, so that's cool. They say we all have to work a little, 'cause it takes all of us to make the community work. Just like on Earth a really, really, really long time ago. Someday, I think it'd be cool to see other places and do other things, but this is fine for now. Let me know if you have any other questions.
If you'll pardon me, I'm not in the mood to talk. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself? Listen here. Mara's free to make her own decisions. I'm not here to control her if that's what you're insinuating. But that doesn't mean I take kindly to other people manipulating her and telling her the other worlds are full of sunshine and rainbows. We live a simple traditional life here, and it's important to the community that we maintain that. Do you understand? Traditions like the way we tend this farm, strong family ties, early colonial life. We do it all with the bare minimum technologies to survive. Everything else is hard work done by humans. It's good for humanity's soul. People rely on technology too much. We need to remember how to perform the basics to survive in case we ever find ourselves without said technology. We need to remember where we came from, Earth, this system, lest we forget and repeat the same mistakes as before. We're one of the last colonies charged with that preservation. That's why it's important. We're going to have to agree to disagree then. I only ask that you respect our wishes.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Someone's got to talk to Joyce about these brownouts.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Hello.
I can't wait to go away on my learning vacation when I grow up.
You
Hi
get used to
there.
the methane process.
Always nice to see you in the face.
They'll never catch me. I kind of want to try food from that Chunks place, but my papa says it's just a bunch of junk food.
Those
for
folks in
tourists.
Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
I could really go for some of Anya's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing. All these tourists are able to come and go as they please. I wish I had that kind of money. Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates. Besides, I'm not really good at talking to tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am. You do? I mean, sure. I don't know what I can tell you, but if you want to talk, I don't have anything else I need to do right now. It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school. Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here. It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options. Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anya clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing. The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people, like me. They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with, but you can tell that people look down on us, especially some of the tourists. Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates. I keep having to take odd jobs just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever. What? Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but wow, thank you.
And one day soon, that's gonna be me with a beggar bowl in hand trying to get credits so Cora can go to whatever elite institution she dreams up. Ask away. Ask away. Goodbye.
You off-worlders have it made. Later.
It's always so cold here.
Very informative. I didn't know about the methane harvesters before coming here.
The Brown Horse Tavern, was it? Huh? The food was better than I expected.
There are times I envy those who are able to travel like you.
Just like the rest of New Homestead.
Well, I hope you'll come back and see us again sometime. And I hope you'll consider another Star Sap tour. Tell your friends.
Bye. We will. Thanks again.
Excuse me, Bill. You've got to do a better job of keeping your tour groups out of trouble.
What do you mean?
That little boy almost wound up on my operating table. Claudio said he was playing with some of the machinery down by the mines and nearly got his arm stuck inside. It could have been ripped off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, kids, little troublemakers. I'll tell the guests to be more careful.
Damn right. You've got to do something. Or else next time it happens, I'm billing you personally.
Yeesh.
I was hoping you could tell. Me some more about this exchange program.
Well, first, you should know that this isn't like any of the other tour services. I'm an actual citizen, but we offer this something different.
Word of advice, steer clear of the doctor here. She really seems to have a problem with tourists for some reason.
But fun.
It towards helping the family. Now, if you want, we can schedule a stay.
Boy, am I glad they have a Chunks here.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. But these are real people, so please be kind to them.
I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
Heads up, if you're planning on going to Chunks, Luther's been bothering anyone with the ship for help.
It's one thing to learn about early colony life, it's another to experience it.
Back before grav drives, ice mining was literally a matter of life and death. Still important to this day.
Completely that people come here to see what early colony life was like.
I did.
To me, it's just.
I know I shouldn't have, but I just wanted to see.
It would be nice to get off world sometime.
But
I can't imagine
They're gonna
living
think
here.
we're even more
These people
old-fashioned
sure are hard.
than they already believe.
Pull up a seat. I'll take care of you.
That's a good point.
Welcome. I'm Anya. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern?
Oh, I'm just trying to have a little fun. But you're probably right.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you?
I'm learning so much here. Everyone should visit at least once.
Starsap Tours. Just see me, Bill Starsap, if you want a truly one-of-a-kind touring experience of New Homestead.
We live a simple life on New Homestead, but make no mistake, it's fulfilling.
Hey, welcome back.
I still can't believe people actually live like
No,
this.
thanks. I just had a
It's been
question
a while
about
since
the,
I last visited.
Food.
Nice to see this place still
Sure
has
thing.
the same charm.
Do people on other worlds really eat this stuff?
You've chosen chunks.
I mean, I'm no
What a great
stranger to
choice.
processed protein. but
What chunks
this
can I
is-
get you?
Well, it's like eating the packaging the protein comes in. I don't see what the appeal is.
Chunks in for everyone, I guess. But I'll tell you, this is the most popular food in the settled system. They must be doing something right.
Maybe it's just me then. Oh well. More for everyone
Chunks
else.
family is happy to see you and to serve you.
Hello there. Welcome to the New Homestead Chunks. We've got all your Chunks favorites. Well, almost all of them. Sadly, we're out of the special sauce. I know. But everything else is still that great Chunks food you know and love. So, what can I do for you? Oh, you had to go and ask the hard questions, huh? How can I pick just one? There's chicken chunks, beef chunks, potato chunks, cheesesteak chunks, cheesecake chunks. You know what? I'm gonna cheat if you don't mind and just say I love them all equally. You know I do. And what's not to love? It's delicious, nutritious, easy, fast, inexpensive. It sure makes my hungry belly sing for joy. Here, my wife thinks I eat too much chunks food, but I just can't help myself. It's so good. Well, people gotta eat, you know? But seriously, I think we're just starting to get with the times a little. And I can't think of a better restaurant than Chunks to usher that in. I think corporate just saw New Homestead as an untapped market. I mean, the locals may not eat it, but the tourists love having a taste of home. If I'm completely honest, it is. And people are always saying how this Chunks can't compare to the real deal. And I just know it's because we never had that mouth-watering sauce. I've been in contact with some of the other restaurants out there, and they'll give me some, but they say they can't afford to send it, and I don't have a ship, so what am I to do? For real, good question. Now, they haven't said, but I think it has something to do with them prioritizing other chunks over mine. I guess it's made at a different facility than our other food, and they don't even want to pay the shipping cost to ship from another store to ours. And sometimes I get lucky and a cargo hauler passes through with a route that takes them near other chunks and back again, but there's no guarantee. You bet it is. You may not hear people talk about it, but trust me, it's the secret ingredient. It's like the glue that holds it all together. I mean, not literally. I'm not saying it's glue or that our food falls apart. It's delightful. Tangy, savory, it's a little sweet, but not too sweet. And I've noticed that once people find out we don't have it, sometimes they don't return. It's the reason business isn't as good as other chunks. Wait, for real? You do that. You're not pulling my leg. Oh, of course. Between what I've got personally and the petty cash, I'm sure I can get you what you deserve. So, I know of another chunk that has a case of sauce ready to go for me. I actually cleared it with them just before you arrived. If you mention it to whoever's working the counter there, they'll hook you up. Bring it back here, and we'll be golden. Thanks. Ooh, I can't wait until it's time to eat. I'm gonna use our discount to get a bunch of different chunks and mix them all up, try some new flavor profiles, as they say in the biz.
What biz? What are you talking about?
You know, the foodie biz. Chefs and all that. It's a thing we do.
We get cases of refrigerated chunks and we just heat them up. We don't, like, make anything. You are really into chunks, huh?
Yeah, it's the greatest. Can't believe you're so down on it. We have the best job on tight.
I'm just doing this job to help my family pay the bills and save up so I can pay for my education. And I am out of here. Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks.
It's so cold here. I guess I should have expected that.
We take vandalism seriously here.